Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. It's BMW Dr. Dean here. Today I'm just going to show you how to reset your adaptions on all the car, as I'm going to do it with mine. And then I'm going to show you that after you reset the adaptions, you need to reset the Valvetronic limit positions, as it ends up forgetting them. So the first thing you're going to want to go to from when your car loads up like so on the control unit tree, you're going to want to go to vehicle management, service functions. Then you're want to go to powertrain, engine electronics, adjustment functions. Then you want to go to delete adaption variants. Now delete adaption variants is going to delete any of the learning adaptions that the engine has learnt over the course of you driving. It is a good thing. I do it probably once a month. It's not needed, but I choose to do it just because I like the word drifting on the drive. I like it to relearn because I drive differently all the time. So it tells you to switch your engine off and switch terminal 15 on, which like so we've got. Then we're just gonna click continue. Then we want to go to reset adaption and values and inversions, and then you want to go to continue. After that, that's what's going to happen. It's going to tell you adaption values were taught, versions were reset. Now you will see all your lights come up here. Don't worry about that, because in the next step, as I told you before, it always throws fault codes, the same as when programming. You want to go to continue. Now it'll tell you to switch off terminal 15. So what that means is take out the key, like so, and switch off terminal R, which is complete key out. Now it tells you to allow vehicle to sleep, which you can wait 2 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever you choose to do, and then put the key back in. Obviously, after we've done that, you want to go and reset your gearbox adaptions. Now, the gearbox adaptions is a lot easier than the engine, because you don't have to wait for it to go to sleep. The reason it asks you for the car to go to sleep is because it needs to store the new settings. Otherwise, you'll start the car up and the settings will still be stored from the previous learning data. You don't want that, otherwise you have to reset adaptions again and again. So you just wait. You'll know when the car goes to sleep if you've got an 06 or 03 upwards to 06. You'll see your cluster, you'll hear your cluster close, and the cluster controls all the car, and it shuts down all the modules inside the car. Your gearbox light, you don't have to wait for that to go out, as most people think that's sleep mode. That isn't sleep mode. The modules go out by themselves usually when this light goes out here on the door itself. That's when the light goes out. But that's when the car's gone to sleep, because it turns off all the modules. The cluster controls all of it, and I'll tell you how I know the cluster controls all of it. My last E60 I had, the cluster was keeping the car awake. It took me a few months to work it out. After much diagnosis, using this today, using the power to sleep, putting the car to sleep is by my control, I found out that the cluster was keeping the car awake. Now it's very rare for that to happen. A lot of people don't have that problem. When you do, and the cluster's keeping the car awake, it's a big problem. You don't want that keeping the whole, because that controls every module in the car and shuts it down. What it was also doing is keeping the disc flap, because I had the M54 engine, buzzing. I wouldn't let it close. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to put the key back in the ignition, like so. Then we're going to click continue, wait for it to store everything. Now as you can see, it's waiting. Now you see it pop up in a sec. Obviously, I'm just going to say to you, your OBD port is always live, regardless of the ignition on or not. Now it will tell you to switch on terminal 15. Again, it means ignition. Now, so as you can see, the ignition's on. Now what we're going to want to do is just click continue. Service function finished. The vehicle must assume sleep mode to save the changes. The vehicle can be restarted. So I'll let that happen anyway. I'm not going to be driving it now. So now what you want to go to is transmission control. When you go to transmission control, you want to go to adjustment, and you want to go reset and adaption functions. So when you go into there, you want to click that, like so, and then you're going to want to, as you can see here, it tells you to reset the adaptions after you've done any of them things. So for instance, if you do a trailer module fit, it's because it will, say for instance you drive erratically and then you want to fit a trailer, the gear changes are going to be very long, because it's learned how you drive while holding the gears in a long gear change. Now with a trailer, sorry, it needs to change very quick compared to what it changes normally, and that's due to, because if it doesn't, your gears will be dragging and probably blow your gearbox, as you'll just overheat the gearbox. So that's why it needs to change quickly. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and reset the adaptions on the gearbox. As you can see, teaching function reset successfully. Continue end service function. Then you just go to end. After that, what you want to go to is learn Valvetronic limit positions, because obviously when you reset the engine adaptions, it forgets that. Now this is quite simple procedure. You just wait for it to load. I'm sure you lot would have seen this on Nathan's channel, but Nathan didn't do it correctly. So now what you want to do is go continue, switch off terminal 15 and R, which is the main relay for the Valvetronic motor. You wait for that to go off. Now what you want to do, and then it tells you to switch on terminal 15. Now it would have deactivated like so, which means the Valvetronic limit position would have rolled back, which is what the computer wants, instead of being on the eccentric shaft itself. Now what you want to do is click continue. The stops are learned in the next step. Continue again. Limit position successfully learned. And there you go. That's that done. Now all you need to do is click continue. And obviously that code wasn't entered on mine, so I don't have to worry about that. So it just tells that if it was entered, that's all it means, is that it needs to be, the limit positions need to be successfully learnt again. If you ever get that code that you can see there, that's the code for limit positions. So that's all you need to do. And then that's that done. Now you just click continue. And then now what you'll have is your car successfully reset, all adaptions reset. You should get no issues whatsoever with the car. I would say go and drive it for the first 10 miles. Obviously the gearbox needs to learn your driving style. The engine needs to learn. All the sensors and the solenoids and all the coils, they all need to learn. They need to relearn everything. So it's not just about the engine learning your driving style, it's about them learning how to control the voltage again. You end up resetting everything on the car and the engine. So it needs to relearn how to advance the timing properly. You'll probably feel your timing's advancing very, very quickly. Don't think that it feels better like that. That's because it's trying to learn. It will slow down after. So if I was you, I wouldn't go around just ragging it, thinking that it's super quick, because it's not like that. It will slow down. If you turn the engine off, let it go back to sleep mode, it will go sluggish again. And that is because it would have successfully learnt its positions, how you drive. The same for the gearbox. After resetting it, drive carefully so the gearbox learns a new state of driving if your gears is holding gears too long. Resetting the adapter for the gearbox is the best way if your car's holding gears. That is the best thing. This is what BMW will do. It shows on the service information bulletin there that that's what they will do. If anything, they'll replace it as well, which is all up here, which it says. I recommend anyone who don't have Ista D, if you own a BMW, to get Ista D. These E60s, you need to have it. It's key to owning an E60. Anything below that, you don't really need it for. You can use a basic scanner, but Ista D for E60 is a must for anyone. You can't run these cars without this program. You can't run them without any of the programs, to be honest, even for coding. I mean, you go to a dealer, it's going to charge you a fortune. Ista D is a very good program, and it can control your whole car. And for that reason, I completely recommend it. This is BMW Dr. Dean here. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, share and subscribe. And I'll be back with other videos regarding turning your seatbelt off and the run flat indicator, how to code that out. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Goodbye.